No shot. For the first time in my lifetime, news of a Supreme Court ruling is leaked. They're overturning Roe v. Wade. Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights. Draft opinion shows. Behold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. Justice Alito writes in an initial majority draft circulated inside the court. What the fuck is going on? Supreme Court has voted to strike down the landmark Roe v. Wade decision. Please tell me this is a fucking joke, right? There's no shot. Initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito circulated inside the court and obtained by Politico. The draft opinion is a full-throated, unflinching repudiation of the 1973 decision, which guaranteed federal constitutional protections of abortion rights, and a subsequent 1992 decision, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, that largely maintained the right. Roe was egregiously wrong from the start, Alito writes. Behold that Roe and Casey must be overruled, he writes in the document labeled as the opinion of the court. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion of the people's elected representatives. We are literally regressing. And it's going to happen under a democratic administration. That's awesome. Now, for those of you who are freaking the fuck out, what does this mean? For blue states, what this means, nothing is going to change. Things are going to get much, much worse in red states, however. Red states have already started their effort to undermine Roe v. Wade and have been doing so even under Roe v. Wade. The only way to actively fight back against this is by legislating or codifying some kind of federal abortion protections, which of course is not going to happen anytime soon. Not with this Congress. The level of social regression that we're currently experiencing is something that I did not imagine we would ever go through. It truly is mind-boggling, straight up. At a time when other Catholic countries, like Ireland, for example, have gone forward. In Mexico, abortion is now legal. Like, think about that. Latin American countries that are significantly closer to religious fundamentalism in their way of governance have, as a consequence of also their material conditions that they've been subjected to, have taken progressive steps towards loosening the restrictions surrounding abortion. America is going in the exact opposite direction. It's a really great interactive map of if Roe is overruled. Abortion will remain legal in Nevada. Abortion will remain legal in, blue states, firmly blue states, but red states will 100%, as they have already started taking initiative, will make sure that abortion is completely illegal. And not only that, but they will continue. They will add additional measures like, for example, Connecticut yesterday, or today, I guess, passed or is slated to vote for bill that will make it so that a Connecticut resident can countersue someone in Texas if they are ever subjected to additional legal scrutiny for getting an abortion elsewhere. Because as it stands currently, some of these states, and they will definitely push for additional legislation at the state level to not only discontinue abortions, bar them from happening in the states, but then also on top of that, pursue you legally if you are a member of said state but went and got an abortion somewhere else. In an effort to combat that, states will then have to write countersuit legislation that allow people in Connecticut to be able to countersue those who sue them. Now, of course, the difference right now is that this is civil litigation that is backed by the government, right? Like that the state government will provide you the opportunity to sue people, like the Texas law. When Roe v. Wade is overturned, you can go to jail. Because currently, the reason why Texas and Alabama and other states have different laws around Roe v. Wade, different laws on how to legislate away abortion, is because Roe v. Wade is the super precedent, right? Well, not anymore. What that means is that you have to get citizens to enforce, anti-abortion measures. Can't have the state government do it because it's federally protected. That will change, and therefore they can rewrite laws and literally make it illegal. Also, as this chatter is pointing out, you are correct. Then they will go after contraceptives. This is crazy. This is actually madness, dude. Republicans are going buck wild. And if anything, this proves once again that simply voting hard is not working. Republicans are not even in power. They're just using any facet of power that they have at the state level to basically fundamentally erode all manner of security and civil liberties that are afforded to marginalized people. Just remember that this conversation around abortion oftentimes goes to very weird places about baby murder or women being sluts or whatever, and simply about forcing women to carry pregnancies to term as though they are simply baby incubators. It's about ridding them of their bodily autonomy. That's it. And there is a million different studies that have been conducted on the matter. That time and time again, it's proven that abortions illegal does not stop abortions from happening. The fetus cannot live without the carrier, which is why making abortions illegal simply turns them into back alley abortions, which is very unsafe for the carrier. Then again, it's about punishing women anyway. So that is to be expected. Could overturning Roe v. Wade cause an upturn of Dems at the midterms? Dude, who gives a fuck? My friend, who cares if there's an upturn in the midterms for Democrats? What? Dude, I don't even, what? Like, I don't understand. What will this do for the Democrats' chances of winning winning the midterms is like my least, I can't even comprehend a world in which like I care about what is going to happen to the Democratic Party. When the Democratic Party itself has shown time and time again that they are not defenders of your fucking rights. Neil Katyal, who is a Supreme Court lawyer and a law professor and an extremist centrist, is... God, he scanned through it. My thoughts on the political story saying the court voted to say Roe v. Wade is fully overruled. I've quickly scanned the draft opinion and it appears it's fully legitimate. This means there was a preliminary vote to fully overrule Roe v. Wade and then the majority of the court agreed. There are lots of signals that the opinion is legit. The length and depth of analysis would be very hard to fake. It says it is written by Alito and definitely sounds like him. It's 60 plus pages long. If this is a deep fake, it would require a state actor or someone like that. I can't imagine that. It's possible the court could pull back from this position, but this looks like they voted that way after the oral argument. The opinion says states can criminalize abortion with no rape or incest exception. It is exactly the hardline position I've been saying the court is going to impose for the last 3 years. It will set women back in profound ways. Congress must act ASAP. I've literally never heard a Supreme Court fucking leak a decision ahead of time. That's not a thing. The last time a Supreme Court decision was leaked was, if this tweet is correct, I don't know, but I mean, they're a justice correspondent for The Nation. This is being leaked because they're afraid people will riot. Wait, what tweet says that last time that a Supreme Court decision was leaked was in 1986? People should riot. I mean, this is fucking crazy. Of course, I'm not saying that. Legally speaking, please do not riot. I would never say that. Rioting is bad and wrong, but like, unavoidable in this circumstance. That's fucking insane. Nobody's gonna riot. Sorry, Americans are too beat down. Yeah, dude. What the fuck have I said? Always, you cannot, dude. The most significant part of our coalition is weaponized Karens, and this is a profoundly important. This is a profoundly important piece of legislation and a piece of liberty for white women specifically, in general, for women across the board. So let me tell you something, okay? You will be surprised, I think. And, you know, they are completely justified. There's nothing that riles up women like, you know, telling them that the government is going to control what they can do with their own bodies. Understandably, I think. A pretty normal fucking reaction to the government being like, hey, by the way, like, you literally can't do something that you can do to your own body, if you will, with a safe medical procedure. So yeah, women do be wanting bodily autonomy. Am I right, fellas? You know, women be shopping and wanting bodily autonomy. They will fucking rise up for this. This is in tandem with DeSantis' don't say gay shit is making me very doomer pill for the future. I mean, the don't say gay and anti-trans bills, what is it, 250 anti-trans bills that have fucking been pushed by Republican majority legislatures all around the country. They are, once again, ideologically aligned to fucking burn shit down. And they're motivated to do so. And that's what happens when you truly have a vision and motivation to do so. You actually get it done, right? We on the left, especially if you are a Democrat voter, do not understand what that's like, because outside of like Bernie Sanders and a few others, like maybe like Ed Markey on certain issues, you know what I mean? Outside of like a few fucking Democrats, when have you ever seen Democrats advocate for something and try to pass it by any means necessary, Democratic politicians, by any means necessary, when it's not, I don't know, bipartisan support for a military bill, or I don't know, fucking defending big pharma if it's important, if it's an important industry in your fucking in your state, or I don't know, tax credits for middle class suburbanites, the perverse attempt to create public pressure against the court by leaking this opinion should be prosecutable. It is absolutely unprecedented. When it turns out that it was a Sotomayor clerk or something similar, the media will immediately turn up producer a hero of democracy. They are a hero of democracy. Whoever leaked this is a fucking hero of democracy. Unless they are themselves responsible for fucking penning it, in which case they are not a hero. Bro, this is crazy. This is like, I don't know what to say. I actually don't know what to say about it other than holy fuck. That's what I have right now. This is abhorrent. Republicans won. What more do they want? Legitimately going to draw myself insane thinking about all the ways this could have been prevented if Democrats had even the slightest desire to actually wield power. No, literally. I mean, it's true. That's another issue here that is impossible to fucking address. But like, there is one side who is intellectually and ideologically aligned, and they have the motivation to do this. They have an agenda that they've set forward to do. Do they actually care if poor people can't get abortions? They don't give a fuck one way or the other. There is no real reason why the Republicans are doing this. They're not legitimately like, oh, we are stopping, women from getting abortions because we think it's fucking murder. No, they don't give a fuck. It's poor people that won't be able to get abortions. They're fucking rich. They're rich girlfriends that they cheat on their fucking horrible ass, cunty fucking wives with are going to be able to get abortions regardless. Their daughters are going to be able to get abortions regardless. It's the fucking poor people that are not going to be able to get abortions. So they don't give a shit. There is no real moral reason as to why they're doing this. It's not because they legitimately think it's like baby murder or some shit. It's because this will win them votes. That's it. This will win them votes in a tiny fucking sliver of 30% of white evangelical Christians who are completely psychopathic, okay? They are off the fucking, they're off their rockers, they're completely insane, and they get more deranged year after fucking year as the Republican Party keeps welcoming them into their fucking ranks and saying, no, you're right, and we will do everything for you because you go out and you fucking vote. Meanwhile, the Democrats keep pushing away their fucking working class voters over and over again by over-promising, or not even fucking over-promising, under-promising, and then even then somehow under-delivering because they don't care. At least Republicans want to win. Democrats just want to fucking make money off of how horrible Republicans are. The only way that the Democratic Party wins elections in this country is by showing you how fucking horrible Republicans are. We are in a never-ending reactionary spiral, and of course these kinds of consequences are going to come out. Think about it this way. Biden teased possibly fucking removing or eliminating student loan debt, and Republicans immediately started chirping about how horrible of an idea that would be. Why? Because the Democratic Party, for once, gave the Republicans something to react to. We need to push for legislation, progressive legislation, even as a defensive measure, so that Republicans don't get comfortable and start killing gay people and trans people and women in general, okay? But we can't even do that. Democratic Party won't even fucking put forward fake bills so that the Republicans have something to fucking yell about. So that there is like some kind of ideological distinction between either party. Perhaps there is no greater example of said devastating reality than what you're seeing right now. Joe Brandon won, right? Let's go, Brandon. We own the fucking House of Representatives. We own the Senate. Why can't the Democrats do anything? They can't get anything done. Meanwhile, the Republicans are like, yep, YOLO, we're going to use the state legislature in majorities everywhere around the fucking country. We are going to use wherever we have a fraction of power to do whatever kind of cruelty that we want to do. Alito says abortion activists are trying to suppress the black population. Read the draft. It's fucking insane. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. They will most likely come after gay marriage too. And gay marriage is symbolic. Like, gay marriage itself isn't the fucking main issue. Obviously, there's a lot of financial components that and moral components that are associated with it. But like, gay marriage is symbolic. It just meant that you couldn't shit on gay people anymore. Like, it was supposed to be normalized. But people never left that resentment. You know what I mean? So many people were never done with that resentment of like allowing gay people to exist comfortably in society and be out. And it's obvious. So that's coming next. But like I said, gay marriage, the abolition of gay marriage or whatever the fuck, and like turning marriage back into a state-by-state basis. Who knows what is next after this? That will, states' rights as a means to defeat gay marriage will mean there will be additional scrutiny towards being gay in public. The entire argument is that abortions aren't in the Constitution and not protected constitutionally, and the ground road touched on it to make it a constitutional issue is shaky, and they want the political process of states making their own rules. Yeah, it doesn't matter. What have I always said, dude? There is no fucking legitimate reading on the Supreme Court justice. They just, listen, dude, there is no real intellectual reason, okay? There is no constitutional interpretation. It's bullshit. It's just literally putting intellectual patina over reactionary ideology, okay? That's it. They're reactionaries. They're psychos. They're just trying to moralize it. Please, for the love of Christ, never give a fraction of notice and an ounce of legitimacy to motherfuckers who try to turn around and say, well, you know, we got to think about the constitutionality of this. Like, no, it's fucking bullshit. Even the Second Amendment, when you think about it, like the interpretation of the Second Amendment that has created this fucking chaotic situation where there's more guns readily available than there are people in this country, that is a relatively new interpretation. That's not how the Second Amendment was ever interpreted for the entire history of America. But now it's the fucking rule of the law. Holy shit. Like, that's how we always thought about it, actually. It was never the case. It's the last 40 years that interpretation has been so important, so profoundly important as a law to uphold, a God-given law. Do not allow other fucking debate pervert idiots to try to dupe you into, try to trap you into this fucking dumbass argument. Dude, I hope this fucking crashes and burns the Supreme Court as an institution, by the way. Part of the reason why they didn't want to do this in the past was because they thought that this would severely undermine the intellectual, the institution of the Supreme Court. Like, that was a big reason for why prior reactionary Supreme Court justices said that they would not do this. Motherfuckers, and by the way, another thing you shouldn't do is fucking ever, for a moment's notice, try to listen to liberals who will use this as an opportunity to be like, oh, fuck Bernie Sanders. He's the reason, okay? Fuck everyone. Fuck anyone and everyone that tries to turn this into, oh, this is actually Bernie's fault or some shit, okay? This is the establishment Democrats' fault. No one but the establishment Democrat is responsible for this other than the obvious Republicans, right? Do not allow that to be a fucking part of mainstay discourse. It is completely psychotic. The establishment Democrats put Hillary Clinton in a position of power, in a position of prominence. They thought that she would be able to defeat Donald Trump. She was fucking wrong. The establishment Democrats also were the ones who did not choose to retire Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who fucking croaked under Donald Trump. She was so confident in her ability to not fucking die that she literally went and officiated a goddamn wedding in the middle of COVID as a 900-year-old vulture who fucking had like cancer 100 times, okay? And then she fucking died like 2 weeks later after that. I don't know if she died of COVID, but she died. So if there's anyone to fucking get mad at, it's those who actually control, okay? Those who actually have their hands on the levers of power. And that is certainly not fucking Bernie Sanders or a bunch of dumbass leftists like myself or others on fucking Twitter. So don't be gaslit by idiots who try to turn this around and get mad. Same opinion takes swipes at legalized gay marriage. Alito's draft opinion explicitly criticizes Lawrence v. Texas legitimizing sodomy and Obergefell v. Hodges legalizing same-sex marriage. He says that, like abortion, these decisions protect phony rights that are not deeply rooted in history. If these motherfuckers get what they want, they will literally, they will criminalize miscegenation again. No more race mixing. Why stop at just gay marriage? I love how it seems that they're trying to do this at night while the Met Gala happens. I mean, I don't think they give a fuck about the Met Gala one way or the other, my friend. I think this is something that they've been working towards for a while. I legitimately did not think that they were going to do this. I thought that this would be too much of a fucking, like, it's too much of an awesome way for Republicans to cause division. You know what I mean? Without actually doing it, because they're functionally doing it in red states anyway. I literally thought that this was like a good way to dangle that carrot in front of the fucking the white evangelical Protestants. And I thought for that reason that they wouldn't go as far as to like fucking actually do this. And for the record, yes, American support for overturning Roe v. Wade has never dipped under 50%. There's that to consider as well. So the idea that like Americans are conflicted on this is a silly one. Holy shit, the Supreme Court is putting up barricades. Barricades are around the Supreme Court building just minutes after reports from Politico were leaked indicating SCOTUS has voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. Fuck, dude, this really put into perspective all the fucking dumbass infighting and leftist shit that is completely irrelevant, didn't it?
Overwhelmed with emotion because this is the best news of our lifetime. The Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights There's a draft opinion out now to overturn Roe versus Wade, and this is a great victory. It's a great.
Bro, she can't even fucking fake cry. That's a abortion that should have happened but didn't. Okay, if there's any fucking proof that, like, everyone should be getting abortions, is Marjorie Taylor Greene's parents. I don't even think she has parents, though. I think they were just manifested.
What does that mean if somebody would leak what is only a draft, it's not a completed document, to potentially alter the outcome of a Supreme Court case? Well, I've got to imagine laws might apply there for the person responsible, no?
Well, certainly the ethics rules for lawyers. If this was a lawyer who did this, a clerk, or anyone who practices law, who is
they're talking about the leaker. They're more focused on the leaker. That's what they care about. Imagine, I can't believe the devastation this brings upon the Supreme Court. I mean, it's so inappropriate that they're leaking. It's crazy. It's like, who gives a fuck, dude? Who gives a fuck, jackass? Are you fucking stupid? Fuck the sanctity of the Supreme Court.
This is an insurrection against the court, and it needs to be found who did it. Dude,
it's wild. It is wild that they're more mad. They're not even. They are literally so good at deflecting. They're not even fucking doing the touchdown dance. You know what I mean? They're not even fucking celebrating it because they're like, we know that people are going to get mad, so let's get mad at something first. Let's get mad at who leaked this really important thing, undermining the integrity of the Supreme Court. Dude, fuck the Supreme Court, okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I don't care. Fuck the Supreme Court. Fuck every single Supreme Court justice. They can suck my dick, okay? Straight up. Who gives a fuck about the integrity of the Supreme Court? They are literally undermining the overwhelming majority of American people's opinion on what they themselves consider to be a fucking super precedent. Like, all these fucking fake reactionary judges literally were like, well, man, Roe v. Wade is a super precedent. It's a super precedent. What happened? I thought it was a super precedent. I thought it had been established that Roe v. Wade was the law of the land, and it was the adequate interpretation. So why is it no longer a super precedent all of a sudden? When you have a super majority, oops, I guess it's not a super precedent, right? Not that it fucking mattered. It never mattered. Yeah, decades of lies from Justice Alito and his ilk about the respect for the precedent and not legislating from the bench. All of this was just complete and utter bullshit, and self-evidently so. Yep, there it is. We emphasize that our decision concerns the constitutional right to abortion and no other right, Alito writes. Nothing in this opinion should be understood to cast doubt on the precedents that do not concern abortion. There you go, dude. They literally all fucking said Roe v. Wade was a super precedent, okay? That's why you can't trust any of these motherfuckers. They're all liars. And I said that they were all fucking liars. 9 geriatric fucks could just completely undermine the will of the majority of Americans. The entire institution is just fundamentally broken top to bottom, dude. It absolutely sucks. So fucking bad. Who don't know what a super precedent is, a super precedent is a phony terminology. Again, all of this shit is made up. Phony terminology created to say, like, well, this is well established. This is a well-established precedent that this constitutional amendment stays no matter what. Our interpretation of this is that because it's been tested time and time again, and because the public has routinely agreed with the broad support, with broad popular support, that this is not just a regular precedent for something. It's a super precedent, as in it's unchanging. We're not going to go in and try to reinterpret it. We're not going to change it. Now, obviously, it doesn't matter because it's a fucking lie, as you have seen, okay? It's just still bullshit. It's bullshit. It was all bullshit. It was always bullshit.
And if Texas is any indication, even leaving the state, even donating to organizations that help people to leave the state, that too is going to become against the law.
That's going to be illegal. It's like, it's literally aiding and abetting abortion. A criminal act is going to be treated like aiding and abetting a criminal act. Like, you know, you're going to get, I mean, maybe they won't give you like federal punishments or anything like that, but because I don't know if they can push for that. But yeah, at the state level, if you have the unfortunate spawn point of being born in one of these fucking red states, they will literally prosecute you criminally. Before this happened, they were trying to prosecute you through civil litigation, opening up the state legislature to, at the very least, like, I don't know, fucking have some kind of award for catching someone in the act of doing an abortion or something like that. The bounty system that they currently have in Texas is simply a way to get around Roe v. Wade. When Roe v. Wade is gone, they could just jail you. They can, and they will, and they have historically, and even now, criminalized miscarriages. They have criminalized miscarriages. Okay. And that is what's going to happen, because the difference between a miscarriage and an abortion is hard to fucking comprehend. It's hard to figure out. How are you going to figure out if this was a back alley abortion or was a simple miscarriage? Are we going to start prosecuting women who are pregnant who fucking drink alcohol or do, I don't know, physical labor, for example? You don't know. How are we going to do that? And we have done it in the past, for the record. I've covered this before. I've shown you the video before. Like, in America, there have been instances where women have been punished criminally for having miscarriages. For the record, like, I voted for Hillary Clinton. I mean, I did. I voted for Hillary Clinton. I told people to vote for Hillary Clinton, unfortunately, even though, you know, I knew that she was fucking dog shit. And it didn't work. And guess what? Do you want to know why? So did Bernie Sanders. So did fucking Bernie Sanders literally ran. Bernie Sanders campaigned for Hillary Clinton harder than Hillary Clinton did. It didn't work. Who was responsible for that? The establishment Democrats. Don't ever fucking let a single one of these fucking sick, twisted freaks on the liberal side try to make it seem like it was Bernie Sanders' fault or some shit like that. Okay, this is 100% the fault of the establishment Democrats, who only operate as controlled opposition and not a serious fucking party with actual goals. Okay, actual goals that they will do everything and anything to push for. You're also ignoring the Electoral College. I mean, the system is also fundamentally reactionary and fundamentally right-wing as a consequence of, like, it being designed by slave owners. That kind of plays a serious role in it as well. Obviously, everything is fucked from top to bottom. And that's why you can have fucking 9 dickheads decide, you know, fuck everything else. Fuck millions of women in this country. We will forcibly make you carry pregnancies to term. American conservatives get everything they ask for and then scream that it wasn't given to them perfectly.
What really troubles me, not about the ruling itself. If that's the ruling itself, I accept and respect that ruling. But the leaker. Make no mistake, Sean, this is an insurrection against the Supreme Court.
Dude, this is wild. Look, states' rights, boys. That's the name of the game. That's it. States' rights all the way. Remember, anytime a motherfucker tells you states' rights, anytime they try to tell you states' rights, understand that person is just a horrible monster of a human being, okay? Same thing that they fucking did during the Civil War, during the Confederacy, same thing that they're going to be doing for any fucking kind of legislation that they're undermining. They're going to say, hey, we're giving this right back to the fucking people. Back to the legislators at the state level. That's what it needs to be. That's what it needs to happen. That's what's going on. Oh, the leaker is actually bad. We're going to do states' rights. Oh, dude, that's great. We warned you for years, but some of you in the lofty lefty platforms told people not to vote Democrats to send a message in 2010. You didn't heed our warnings in 2016. Now you are shocked that the Republican Supreme Court will overturn Roe, but you should be ashamed. Hey, quick, check what Henry Cuellar's position on all this is and whose mom is campaigning for him right now. Fucking Felix with a great dunk already. First thing that liberals are doing, I'm trying so hard not to fucking focus on dumbass liberals who are, like, literally using this as an opportunity, as every other opportunity, to fucking find a way to cut out fucking leftists and be like, this is why, this is because of leftists.
But I want to say this very clearly tonight. No matter what you think about this outcome, the leak itself represents a shocking and unprecedented breach of the court's confidentiality, which is sacrosanct. To leak
the right is so good at messaging. They're all screeching about the fucking leaker, dude. They jumped on it and they're all fucking screaming about the leaker. They're so good. Instant unity. They're so good. Learn lessons from these fascists. They are organized. They are united. They will do everything they fucking can to push for goals, no matter how vulturous, no matter how pathetic, no matter how psychotic, no matter how bloodthirsty it is. What did the liberals do? All they're doing right now is tweeting about Bernie Sanders, dude. That's what liberals rush to do.
Yeah. This is one of the most destructive things that I can ever imagine to happen to our legal system.
Bro, she's not talking about the fucking overturning of Roe v. Wade. She's talking about the leaker, dog.
A lot of people thought the original Roe opinion was brutal as well, given what happened to 50+ million babies. But your response to his comment, Professor?
What?
Well, as you know,
50 million babies? Bro, listen, dude, you can't do that. Every time you suck Dinesh D'Souza's cock and let him bust in your mouth, that's not a dead baby, okay? Which, by the way, Laura Ingram did that. For the record, fun fact, she did. She had sexual intercourse with one of the most disgusting freaks on the planet, alongside Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter did it too. Not together, but when you were outing gay college students at your college newspaper for your ugly, horrible monster boyfriend, Dinesh D'Souza, and you were having sexual intercourse with him on the side, and you sucked his dick and he came in your mouth, that wasn't a dead baby. That's not how this works. Yes, by the way, this is both of these things that I said is true. I don't know if she sucked his dick or not, but they did date. And also she was doing that in her college newspaper, outing gay college students. I fucking hate Laura Ingram so much.
And if there aren't 60 votes in the Senate to do it, and there are not, we must end the filibuster to pass it with 50 votes. Well, this seems like the goal of the leaker. This seems pretty obvious at this point. I mean, they were ready with the politics thing.
They're already with the politics.
Dropped.
You dumb ass. You fucking psycho. What do you mean? This is a political thing. You are a political commentator. This is a political movement. This is a political move from the Supreme Court. What the fuck? I mean, why bring politics into the Supreme Court of the United States? I mean, why are liberals trying to bring politics into everything? I mean, wow. What is this guy? Bernie Sanders? They say he's a politician. He's a senator doing politics about immediately after the Supreme Court reveals a decision. Why you gotta bring politics into everything? Tim Kaine was fucking anti-abortion and Hillary picked him for VP. I'm sorry. Are you talking about Tim Kaine in the membrane? Tim Kaine in the brain? Is that who you're talking about? How could we have ever lost? This must be Bernie Sanders' fault, I think. This must have been Bernie Sanders' fault.
Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
Still takes my breath away every time. One of the reasons Lewis Powell voted for Roe in 1973 was he literally experienced someone waking him up in the middle of the night begging for legal help because his girlfriend had just bled out after a botched self-induced abortion. In his book, Justice Lewis F. Powell, published in 1993, Professor Jeffries recounted a dramatic incident. Powell's years as a senior partner at a Richmond law firm. A distraught 19-year-old office helper called him at home in the middle of the night and asked him to meet him in the office. The young man's girlfriend had become pregnant. He had tried to help her abort herself, but the procedure went terribly wrong and she bled to death. Powell went to see the local prosecutor with the result that no charges were ever filed. This incident convinced Powell that women would seek abortions whether they were legal or not, and the driving the practice underground led to danger and death, Professor Jeffries wrote. There is also an incredible amount of evidence to suggest this as well, for the record. I think 6 million women a year in this day and age worldwide still suffer permanent injury as a consequence of back alley abortions. Yeah, I mean, let's be clear, Jack, this ban is dangerous. Directly violates women's constitutional right to choose. We must stop it. As president, I will codify Roe into federal law and ensure this choice remains between a woman and her doctor. Look alive, Jack! No, he won't. Christopher says, I voted for him to prevent Trump and keep some calm at the top. We knew he wouldn't get much done with such a divided House and Senate. Liberals are already defending him. I'm done, dude. I hate politics. I hate it. No wonder people fucking don't care. Because the people that do care are disgusting cucks. I despise them. They're horrible monsters. Like, you're a bad person, dude. You're literally such a fucking pathetic turbo cuck that you have become like an evil person in defense of a negligent, criminally negligent institution. Lamau 2019. I know it's an old tweet, you fucking idiots. Someone wrote a response to it recently, like 19 minutes ago, and then someone 2 minutes ago defended that response. I know it's a 2019 fucking tweet. What's wrong with you? I understand that. It is a lie from his campaign. My point is, Democrats are already running to fucking defend his inaction before he even did it.
David, think about, like, you're obviously a West Point graduate. You served your country in uniform.
Look how happy he is.
Based on the principles that America was worth defending, that America's principles were worth in some cases.
Come on, Laura.
Even,
tell us, is America even worth defending if the Supreme Court has a leaker? Go ahead, say that.
As we do, but when we stop loving our institutions, our separation of powers.
Oh my God, she's saying it. She is saying it. Is America worth saving if we don't love our institutions unconditionally?
I don't think so. Right.
When's the tipping point for revolution? Was the straw is the climate change ruining the planet or our rights being taken away? No, none of that is going to be a tipping point for revolution. Volatility that will necessitate a revolution will only come in a country like the United States, or any country for that matter, when people are hungry. And people are not hungry. They're really fucking fat. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, and I don't mean that in like a Tim Pool kind of way, but like people are really fat. That's why they fucking cry on Twitter. When you can still eat, okay? When you can still eat food, when you still got food on your table, all you're going to do is fucking bitch on Twitter about whatever fucking other leftists you can fucking point the fingers to, or Bernie Sanders is the reason for why this is happening.